Hello, and welcome to another edition of Storytelling on Orchard Street. I'm your host, Pete Salamita. We're in the podcast studios of P&T Knitwear Bookstore on 180 Orchard Street. And with me is Aria Anjali. She is a 14-year-old singer-songwriter, piano player, guitarist, and performer in the New York area. She has performed at various venues in the Hudson Valley and New York City, including the Town Crier in Beacon, the Hoot Festival in Cold Spring, and City Winery in Manhattan. You can find her on Instagram at Aria Anjali and most streaming platforms. Aria's dad, Anand, is an attorney by day, but loves backing up his daughter on the guitar and supporting her music. I welcome you both.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Oh, sorry. Try that again. Say it again.
Hi, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you.
Great to be here, yep.
So I like to give my audience a little background on the people that join me in the studio. So you're Aria's dad, of course, as I said. Why don't you just set up your family's history just briefly about, give us a little idea of, where this all came from.
Oh, sure, happy to. So I grew up upstate New York, a town called Binghamton, about 3 hours north of New York City. And I've always been into music myself, and music was in our house all the time. I picked up the guitar when I was about 12 or 13, and I'd been playing piano. And I became a songwriter and started a band in high school and decided I wanted to be a famous rock star. My buddy and I moved to New York to do that, fell flat on our faces, and ended up becoming a lawyer.
Okay.
Actually, both of us became lawyers.
You and your...
My friend,
Okay.
yeah. And, he and I still actually play together from time to time, but then when Aria was born, she started picking up music at a very young age, and the rest is kind of history.
6 years old is what says here at some point, right?
Well, that's when she started writing songs,
Wow.
but
Okay.
she was singing before then. In fact, I can remember when I would come home from work, I'd be in the elevator, and if I'd be holding her, like moms and dads would say, "Oh, are you her dad?" And I'd say, "Yeah." "Oh my God, she sings in the playroom. She sings in perfect pitch. She's always singing. She's amazing." And this was when she was like 2 years old. She was literally singing before she was talking fluently.
And what was your first instrument, Aria?
My first instrument was piano. I started taking piano when I was like 5 years old, and then I quit when I was 8 because I really just enjoyed like playing by myself and just like figuring things out on my own. And I wasn't very good at reading music, so I really liked to just like improvise on it. So I continued to play piano even after I quit, and I just kind of got better at it as I went on.
So I'm just going to set up how it came to be that I met you folks. I've been doing a number of open mics as a poet, and I went to Freddie's and met you folks there and heard your music. And I want to set this up for the audience because I was inspired by what I heard, and I wrote something in the inspiration. Now I have to see if I can get the music to go along with this. My sister Teresa wrote a really nice piece of music.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to see if I can get it up here. Okay. She has wisdom about life, though she's barely lived it, like an old soul who hadn't finished speaking. Stories and song about love that went missing, a yearning for something that you can't put a finger on it. Belief that there's sunshine after the hurricane is finished, that sometimes you get knocked down and have to get up and pick up the pieces. If your life was an opera, the best part is the aria sung by a singer taking a chance to expose her inner feelings. The audience taken aback by the beauty they just witnessed, thinking maybe reincarnation is just an academic position. So sing your songs, young songbird, the world is a better place with them in it. So that was dedicated to you.
Beautiful.
So one of the things you sent me, you did actually say that it's not just me and some of the people that I've been with that have seen Aria, but you do feel like this is coming from someplace else or not, or like, for her age, the level of musicianship and writing is pretty mature.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like she was taking piano lessons, she didn't learn anything. And we stopped the lessons because it was going nowhere. She wasn't learning to read music. She'd play these little da 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 da,
Right.
and that's it.
Right.
It's when we stopped the lessons, that's when she really started playing, and it was like magic. And within a year or two, she's amazing at it without being able to read a lick of music.
Where do you think it comes from?
I think that a lot of my musicianship comes from my dad because he like really inspired me. He was always playing guitar and playing music, and I think that really inspired me to to pursue it a little bit. And I just love music myself too, and I listen to a lot of it.
I mean, when I talk to you, it's clear that you're 14 years old. I mean, you sound and present yourself like a 14-year-old would. But when I heard you on stage, I got a different feeling. It's like it is. I mean, do you sense that you're writing music that's pretty mature for your age?
I think so. Yeah. I also think that it's a bit of a misconception also that that kids don't think mature thoughts and stuff. I think that a lot of my friends, we talk about philosophy,
Right.
and I just think that I have an outlet to express it.
Sure. Do you read a lot?
I read a lot. Yeah, I've been a bit busy recently, but I do really love reading, and a lot of my songs actually are inspired by books I read too.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of my poetry is either
Yeah.
from a book or a movie or you could be walking down the street and get inspiration. But yeah, it has to come from somewhere. Why don't we play one piece? So we're going to play a piece called Why, and this is available on Spotify and anywhere else. It's on YouTube too, correct?
It's not on YouTube,
Oh, it's
but
not.
it's on other streaming channels.
Okay, well, let's give it a listen.
Why go through the pain of the world? You're gonna leave us on the streets anyway. I don't understand. Why would you lend a hand? Your intentions are inscrutable anyway. Why? understand. Why would you lend a hand? Your intentions are inscrutable anyway.
All right, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
I want to go back to what you said before because I didn't respond to it the way I wanted to, but I do like the statement you said that, age is not necessarily a thing and that people do not give
Yeah.
teenagers enough credit for talents and so I thought that was a great thing that you said. You want to tell us about the words to that song, where it comes
So-
from?
I wrote this song about 2 years ago, I think, and that my voice sounds a lot younger there.
Yeah.
And
By the way, you sound better live than you do it. Not that to say this recording's not good, but live is just fantastic.
Of course, yeah. And I was I was asking a question that's kind of been asked for since the beginning of time almost, about just whether why all of these things happen and for what reason it happens for, and just asking why.
Well,
and,
okay.
Yeah.
Is there a spiritual quality
Yes,
to music?
that was part of the message was, yeah.
Or, yeah, very existential.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, is that's a common thread through a lot of your music?
Yeah, I do try to incorporate that.
Right. So I have to ask you about this one song that I've heard you do, and I could be wrong, but I got the impression it was about a hurricane, after a hurricane. Do you have a song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do have a song called Hurricane.
Right, and that's what's in my poem. It's that's where that came from. Because I thought that was really deep, that song too. You don't have the words to it, do you?
I do have the words in my head.
Oh, okay. Can you recite it?
Sure. Caught in the middle of a hurricane, nobody knows what to expect. So you listen to the sound of the water that you will never hear again. 100 miles from the water's edge, nobody knew how to correct what they thought was the smile of a clueless face whom they'd never see again. They would never know again. You're in the dark, you hear them falling, and you wait. You'll wait in the middle of a hurricane. Nobody knows what to expect. So you listen to the sounds of the water that you will never hear again. You will never hear again.
So where does that come from?
So for this song, I wanted to convey the feeling of being trapped, and that's where the hurricane metaphor comes
Okay.
from. And in the line, 1,000 miles from the water's edge, I wanted to show the place that this person wants to go but can't get to, and how they want to escape it, but they just can't.
Does it come from somewhere?
I'm sure that I was unconsciously inspired by something. I always kind of, it just comes from my head, I think.
Right. It's okay. I mean, sometimes I write poems and then a year later I forget exactly what the original inspiration was. Yeah.
Yeah, no, when she wrote that song, Why, and I read these lyrics, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, these are
And that's 2 years ago too, so now she's 12.
Yeah, and, just listening to that, pleading, how can you reconcile all of this existence
Right.
with any kind of order in the universe?
Right.
It's like that's what philosophers have been grappling with for thousands of years. And here's this 12-year-old girl that is
Right.
so poetically
Right.
put it in words, and even the music is
It's very dramatic and
Yeah.
it has a lot of feeling.
Yeah.
It really,
just blew me away,
Right.
really.
So how does it work you work as a team? Like, do you help with the music, or is it all her music?
It's really all her. So
Okay.
when we get to, occasionally, I will help with a chord here and there,
Right.
or with like an idea for an arrangement. Like maybe we should put a guitar solo here,
Yeah, of course.
but something like that.
Right.
But almost always she has a very clear idea of where
Right.
she wants to go in the song.
And when you record,
By and large, she does it all herself.
right? Okay.
So she's an expert on Logic, and her brother became an expert on Logic, and her brother is just like amazing at Logic and producing and stuff, and she kind of learned a little bit from him, and then took it to her own level. And
How old's your brother?
He's my twin brother, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. And so he helps you with that, but
Yeah.
he's not interested in the music itself.
He also records his own music,
Oh.
but it's very different from my genre. He likes to record a lot of hip hop and
Okay.
rap and stuff, and it's
Cool.
very cool. He's really good at it
Right.
too.
No collaborations in the future.
We have collaborated in the past, and
Right.
he does like to help me sometimes. Sometimes I'm definitely not as good at Logic as he is, so
Okay.
sometimes I get some help from him. And who knows, we might collab in the future as
Right.
well.
Okay. And well, maybe we should just play another one. Just give me a minute, because this is not the most ideal setup here, so it might take me a minute. The next one you wanted was Long Gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that then.
She spoke a language we forgot. She said, the world is such a scary place, meant for those whose hearts are made of stone. I remember what she said. She said, maybe tomorrow I'll be gone. Save me from the light that has brought me to this world. I'll escape in not too long. Don't try and stop me, 'cause by then I'll already be far gone. She puzzled eyes that couldn't see, and was blinding to the many people she would meet. She saw the world as what it was, and stopped pretending, oh, what they wished it would be. And she knew her time would come one day. Not that she cared too much to stay, but she just wrote the words that no one reads. And she just saw a picture no one sees and sees. Maybe tomorrow I'll be gone. Save me from the light that has brought me to this world. I'll escape in not too long. Don't try and stop me. It's high time that we learn how to move on. And she knew her time would come one day. Not that she cared too much to stay, but she just wrote the words that no one reads. And she just saw a picture no one sees and sees. Maybe tomorrow I'll be gone. Save me from the light that has brought me to this world. I'll escape in not too long. Don't don't try and stop me, 'cause by then I'll already be far gone. Oh, oh,
All right. So tell us about that one.
So this one I wrote about a year ago, I think, and there are really two interpretations to the song, but both of the interpretations that I was really trying to get across in the song was that it was about a person that doesn't really belong where she is and doesn't know where she belongs, and she's trying to find it, and she's trying to get out of the place that she's in right now.
There's a lot of that in my writing too.
Yeah.
That's a lifelong thing, don't you think?
Yeah, it happens
we
to
all go through
everyone.
that. Like, where are we at the moment? You know, is this where we want to be? That's
Yeah.
pretty deep.
This song is like, I think the first time she played it, I had tears in my eyes listening to it, and people come up to us when she plays it
Yeah,
live,
it's a beautiful song.
and
Right.
just I still remember the first time we played it live was at it was at the Church Street School of Music happening in 2021, and this woman came up to her afterwards with tears in her eyes and
Right.
said, "I'm 80 years old, and you are so knowing. I felt you were speaking
Yeah,
to me."
it's true.
Thank
Does that how does that make you feel when you hear that kind of stuff? Is it embarrassing or does it feel good or?
It feels
Or
really
is-
good,
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I'm happy that people can relate to what I'm
Mm-hmm.
expressing with the world, and it's a great feeling when you know that you've touched people in that
Right.
way.
And where does your influences come? Like what artists, music artists, have really inspired you to
I listen to a lot of Jim Croce.
get out of
and-
here?
Yeah, I love Jim Croce
Yeah.
and Bob Dylan and a lot of Queen too. So
Right.
kind
Okay.
of all over the place. But yeah,
Right.
those are my main three, I think.
Wow. Well, those are good three.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it's very diverse.
definitely.
What was that song? Time in a Bottle. That's such a beautiful
That's
song.
such a good
And
song,
it
yeah.
made more sad to know that he passed away
I
not too
know.
too long after that, or he died.
Oh yeah, and he wrote that
Yeah,
song for his
thanks.
son,
Wow.
who was I think maybe 2 years old at the time.
Right.
3 years old at the time.
His son performs still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, AJ Croce.
Yeah.
he goes
Have you ever
by.
seen him?
I've never seen it. No,
Right.
we,
No.
we've thought about it.
Right.
He did this tour a couple of years ago, playing his dad's song. So I'm waiting for
Right.
maybe something like that to come around again.
Yeah, that would be really awesome.
But I think with her stuff, you see the singer-songwritery aspect,
Right.
but her songs often like build into these like
Yeah, there's a
rock-
lot to it. It's not just folk. It's not just a folk song.
yeah, and I think
It's
that's that
yeah.
Freddie Mercury influence comes
guess
in.
so, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that
So the arrangements are yours also.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes my dad, like he said, sometimes he helps a little bit, but usually they're mostly arranged.
And what are you doing outside of the music to help your music go further? In other words, do you study anything that would help you develop as a performer?
I take guitar lessons with Wilson Montour. He's an amazing guitarist himself, and he's a great teacher as well. He introduces me to a lot of cool techniques on guitar that I have definitely used when I compose my own music.
Cool.
So yeah.
Sometimes things pop in my head, and this popped in my head, this story. So do you know who Booker T is?
I don't think
Booker
so.
T and the MGs, they were the kind of like the house band almost for a label called Stax, and they did all this great soul music in the 60s. Otis Redding, Sam and Dave.
Sam and Dave, right.
And a bunch of other great artists, and they had their own music too. He was 16 when he wrote Green Onions, and I think it was 62. It was a huge hit, and a really big hit. I mean, you've probably heard it, you might not know what the name of it is. And he came back from a tour or something, and he went to his, he's still in high school. And he goes to high school, and they had a big thing all planned for him. They had them, everybody was out in the football field, and they had the marching band play the song. And
oh wow.
but he wound up going to college, and everybody's like, well, why are you going to college? You have all these, hit songs already. What do you need to do? But he wanted to study arranging, and so that he would be he would have a longer career, and he would be able to help other musicians. And so he went on, besides doing his own music, he went on to produce and arrange music for other people. He discovered, I'm my God, I'm drawing a blank. All right, it'll come to me. The song "Use Me," Bill Withers. So he discovered Bill Withers, and he was able to help him. And so I was just throwing it out there that, as you know, you've got a great start, but it would be good to maybe think about other ways that you can help. I mean, is this a long-term career for you, or is it just something you love to do and a passion, or it could be both?
I think it's a little bit of both. Right now, I'm just like writing songs and doing what I love, but I definitely think that I would definitely love to pursue this in the future as well.
So you're kind of taking it day by day.
Yeah.
And what about the performance side of it? Is it hard to find places to play, or are you are you performing out a lot, or?
Yeah, we perform at a lot of open mics, as we
Right,
met at an
sure,
open mic.
right.
And
How about features, though? You should be more than an open mic at this point. How many songs do you have?
So the other day, I found this like document with all of like my songs from like, and it was edited in 2021. So there
Okay.
were all of these songs that I just forgot existed. And then I started adding the songs that I've wrote since then. And it comes down to 71 songs.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, it was actually.
You could do a 3-hour rock concert.
No, she's done some more formal gigs,
Right.
and we play with a band sometimes. My buddy that I moved to New York with, he's a bass player, and the three of us play together with a drummer sometimes.
Right.
We did a gig, again, this Church Street Music sponsored it. It was for a Ukraine benefit.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on the, yeah.
Yeah, we also have, she was asked to open for Sawyer Fredericks, who's a great artist. At the town crier, we did a whole set there.
Okay.
We played at the Hoot Festival in September, which is Pete Seeger started that. It's a
Nice.
all-day music
Right.
festival in Cold Spring, New York. But we haven't really gone and said, you know what, we want to start getting.
You're not rushing it, right?
Not
That's the
rushing
idea.
it. She's
There's
got
no-
school and everything,
sure.
and it's kind of fun going to the open mics and
Right.
listening to other people, and you learn from them, and
Right.
you try things out.
Sure.
But
You're taking a kind of level-headed approch.
yeah, but definitely on the horizon, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, ultimately, I feel like she's got to kind of, heartbreaking as it'll be for me, she's got to, start playing with people her own age and get her own band together,
Right.
like I did when I
Right.
was in high school.
That would be a tough band to be kicked out of, huh? So I want to make sure we get as much into this as we can. So let's play All the Years Go By. You want to set that up?
So this song, this is one of my more recent songs, and I just recorded this actually. So, that's.
So she did this. This is like untouched by me. She did all the instruments.
Okay.
She recorded it, produced it, arranged it all herself. And, one of the reasons we picked these three songs is they're like, one is from 2 years ago, one is from last year.
And this is new.
This is new. So you
Okay.
kind of see the evolution in her songwriting, too.
All right, let's give it a listen.
There's a palace in the sky. Watched it bet 100 times. Vanish right before my eyes. And then again, it comes to life. There's a world that you might know. A place where all the lost souls go. Where silence is your middle name. You're hooked onto a silver chain. And all the years go by. Entertainers more I cannot describe what it's all been for. You can hardly see what is happening. Oh, all the years go by, entertain me more. I cannot describe what it's all been for. no power gain, no progress made. And when the darkness overtakes, making all the same mistakes, and all the years go by, entertainers move. I cannot describe what it's all been for. You can hardly see what is happening. And all the years go by, entertain me more. I cannot describe what it's all been for. All the years go by, entertainers more. I cannot describe what it's all been for. You can hardly see what is happening. All the years go by, entertain me more. I cannot describe. Entertain me more. You can hardly see what is happening. There's no happy end. It's not a surprise when you're caught up in fate. The sun will never rise.
Awesome. I love the extra vocal parts. Is that you also? So
Yeah.
everything is you.
Yeah.
The guitar solo too?
Actually, the guitar was
Okay.
me. I mean, my dad. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot. And the drum. And, you didn't
And my
Wilhelm?
brother did the drums too.
Okay. There's my memory sometimes when I'm in the middle of doing something. Oh, you know the song "I'm Not in Love" by 10cc?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I know the song.
okay.
Yeah.
Because they reminded me of that in the way the vocals were used.
Oh yeah.
Go
I
back
hear.
and listen to that because it's the vocals. They did a lot of extra vocals and they did it almost like a keyboard. Like the
Oh,
vocals
so
almost sound
cool.
like an instrument. It's really cool. So,
Yeah, I totally know 10cc.
Yeah. So how can people find you before we forget?
I have an Instagram at Aria Anjali, and I also am on Spotify too.
And there's
Apple
some
Music and
Yeah,
all
Apple
of them.
Music. Yeah.
right and YouTube. Some
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm also on YouTube
Right.
by Aria Anjali.
Right.
Also.
did we cover everything?
I think
Pretty
so.
much. We'll end with the journey. Usually I use my theme song to end, but I think we just end with that. But I just fascinated by you and love your music.
Thank you.
And keep this level-headed approach because your music means something, and
Thank
don't
you.
lose that part of it because sometimes you don't need me to tell you this because I'm sure you're aware of this too. But the music if the business part of the music business sometimes can be kind of rough and
Yeah.
yeah. So and you seem like a smart girl. Are you studying? Like you have. What's your favorite thing to study? Like what besides music? What would you see yourself going to college for?
I really like science and biology we're
Cool.
doing in school. I really like that. So.
Awesome. Yeah. So keep that going.
No, she's
Yes.
a straight A student
Yeah, I
as
bet.
well at a
Right.
great school.
How do you find time to do all that and all the music and everything else?
I don't know. I try to find a way to balance out both my music life and my school life and
And friends. I'm
and
sure.
of course friends too.
Social life too.
Yeah.
But music can be a social life too.
Yeah,
I-
a lot of
yeah.
my friends are also musicians. Like there's one of my friends in my school also writes songs, and sometimes we play together and perform.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Again, thank you so much, Anand and Aria, for being on the show.
It's
Thank
our
you for
pleasure.
having
Thank you
Yes.
for having us.
And
This
I
was awesome.
really urge people to find a way to go see you perform. Let me get your song queued up, The Journey. You've been listening to Storytelling on Orchard Street, Pete Salamita, and I think this was a very fun episode for me to do. And I hope to see you both soon at an open mic, or better yet, at a full concert.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to end with The Journey by Aria Anjali.
It's been a long year, my friend. This journey's come to an end. 'Cause I don't want this life, and I don't wanna learn. I don't wanna freeze, but I don't wanna burn. I just wanna live the way we were meant to. I just wanna live life without you. I don't want these rules, overcomplicated tools. I won't play this game. We won't die in these chains. We just wanna live simple as life's meant to. We just wanna live life without you. It's been a long